All right, gang. How's everyone doing today? Hope you are doing fine. How's the mic? Is it a little hot, a little cold? I've been switching mics back and forth over the last few days, so sounds good. Sounds good. Good. Okay, guys. Welcome back to the live room. Another fantastic week of trading, hopefully, is ahead of us. Is this anyone's first day in the live room? If it is, do me a favor, just type in a yes, type in a me. Say, hey, first time here. That way I know whether I have to do a proper welcome or if I can just get into things. All right, Robert, looks like Robert. Stefan, nice. Steve, there we go. I saw a few other new names too. Kids 8888. That's an interesting first name, kids. In the future, we like to use real names here. We like to establish a community. We try to get away from the trading form feel as much as possible. So we don't like to have stuff like Pip Monster or Pipzilla or the infamous Pip Unicorn, stuff like that. So when you log in tomorrow or during the break, if you want to come in with your real name, or even if it's not a real name, if it's just a fake name that you made up that sounds real, that is appreciated. But we'll do a quick intro for you guys. Welcome to the live room. It is exactly what it sounds like it is. It is a chance to watch me trade the markets live. Now, what you're going to see is both swing trading and day trading analysis, meaning that we're going to take a look all the way from the daily charts and work our way all the way down to the 5-minute charts. Over the years, this room has really used to be something that I just trade, you just watch me trade, and that's how it is. But it's become a really, really great community where we have a whole bunch of really good traders in the room of all levels. We have traders in here that are professional traders on their own. They're in here simply because I am so awesome, and they love the community that we have. They like the place to share ideas. And as you know, trading's pretty lonely, so it also gives them a chance to just communicate and interact with others. There are also traders that are brand spanking new. This is their first time maybe hearing about Forex or very unfamiliar with it. And they want to get an idea of how all the stuff that they see on the internet or they read in books, how it's actually used in the live markets. Because I'll tell you what, it's a lot different. This is why I don't really promote a lot of technical analysis books. It's a lot different from seeing it in a book in hindsight when the chart is not moving. And then seeing it in real time when you have this open white area on the side of your screen. So it's a chance for them to see, again, how trading does in real life. And of course, we have our 12-week transformation members who are going through the process, going through the journey, I should say, of becoming consistently profitable traders. And they're in here to get support and really, again, put example to the topics that they're learning throughout the course. How can I know what is the best time to trade in Malaysia for me? The New York close charts 4-hour. I'll tell you what, if you're a swing trader, then it doesn't really matter. So if you're going to be trading on the higher time frames, then you should be trading around the clock. It doesn't mean you have to be looking at your charts around the clock, but your positions, you should have orders set, stops set, so that you can enter trades around the clock. For example, we had a trade last night on Euro Yen that got filled. We had a bullish bat pattern here on Euro Yen down at 128.32 that got filled right at midnight, essentially about 11 o'clock at night, my time. Now I can tell you what, I was fast asleep by then, but because we have our order set, we have our stop set, we're still able to involve ourselves in the trade. So if you're swing trading, it doesn't really matter. If you're going to be a day trader, then you do want to look for, there are certain periods that are better and worse for being a day trader, meaning like a lower time frame trader. Let me just finish up my spiel, guys. Not a signal service. You will see me take live trades in here. We do try to make money. I'm a professional trader. It is my job to try and produce profit for myself, but it is not a signal service. So just because you see me take a pattern, take a structure trade, take an entry, does not mean that you should follow. If you're involved in the opposite side of the market, it does not mean that you should exit your trade immediately and switch positions. The point of you being here is to learn. So take this as a learning opportunity. If you're someone, again, that is experienced and you You have a trading style, you're locked in, you know how to trade, feel free to share ideas through the chat forum. The chat forum is open. Everyone can see what you type in. We do a very good job of policing ourselves, so we don't get any nasty messages or abuse or anything like that. If so, we'll just kick you out. But feel free to type in some ideas. If you are going to type in ideas, just be very detailed. Don't type in something that says pound dollar entered, because that doesn't tell anyone anything. Type in something, hey, dollar CAD, 60-minute chart, bullish cipher, XAT, blah, 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 blah. That way, if I don't have time to get to it, because there is a strict portfolio that I look at first, if I don't have time to get to it, the other traders in the room will have a chance to go over there and maybe take advantage of an opportunity. Does that sound good, guys and ladies? Perfect, perfect. All right, let's get started here. Let's get started with everyone's favorite pair. Let's go to pound dollar. This is an interesting pair because we've had multiple positions on this pair. Let's start on the daily and we'll work our way down to things. Let me just figure out where all my screens are at. There we go. Pound dollar, you know, I was looking at a long opportunity yesterday. Jason actually got long in War Room yesterday. But I'm going to show you a short opportunity as well. Now, Syndicate members, you already know what this is. I shot it to you already, but we're going to review it and see what's in store for today. By the way, you're going to hear me mention the Syndicate a lot. We do take a break for our Syndicate War Room meeting at 8:30 every morning, just because the majority of our live room members are also in the Syndicate. And what the War Room is basically it's about well, depends on the day. It's about a 10 to 20 minute meeting that Jason does each morning, basically showing you, hey, these are the trades on my radar. This is why I'm looking at them. This is the process. This is, you know, why I'm looking to get involved, and it'll keep you updated on everything we're doing. So, for example, sell stops resting euro dollar 112.74. Canceled that order. He's probably going to talk about why he canceled that order, why he rolled stops on pound dollar, and just keep you updated on anything that's on his agenda. So, pound dollar on the daily, as we talked about yesterday, look at that price action coming back up into previous structure support. This is the level we had on our radar for a few weeks now, and we're seeing a reaction there. Now, very importantly, we were talking about this in our every Monday we do a live Q&A session for our 12-week transformation members, and we were talking about trend continuation, right? Does this look like a very good trend continuation or trend following situation for bearish traders out there? What do you guys think? Should have mentioned this in the spiel too. I like a lot of feedback, so I like asking you guys questions. I like you getting the chance to answer it. I think it's the best way to learn. All right. So if you're a daily chart trader and you're looking at this for trend continuation, just be aware of one thing. And again, we always talk about using the higher time frames. Be aware of one thing. If we go out to the weekly chart, which would be the higher time frame from the daily, right? If we go out to the weekly chart, and I kind of unscrunch things, what are we looking at here on the weekly? Are we bullish? Are we bearish? What's the trend here on the weekly? What would you guys say? Or is there a trend? Do I have a sound effect for that? I'm not sure if you guys on YouTube can hear that. Yeah, consolidation. We have sideways movement here on the weekly. I need that X-File sound, Charles. Doom, doom, doom. That'd be awesome. But yeah, we're consolidation here in the week. Look at that. We're just going sideways. So keep that in mind. If you're a trend following trader, you don't want to automatically assume that we're going to see some type of massive movement to the downside, because we are in this, this coiling situation right now. So again, and this is the difference. There's a big difference between trend following and trend continuation. If you're a trend following trader, you're looking for that extension all the way down. You're looking for that continuation to create lower lows. If you're a trend continuation trader, you're simply looking for a retest of structure and looking to get out right there. We don't teach too much of a trend following strategy just because it's not in my trading philosophy. But there's certainly ways to approach that. So let's go down to our 4-hour time frame here. All right. You can see I have my notes drawn out already. This is what we talked about yesterday. We did take, or Jason did take a trade back here yesterday at this structure level, had a massive movement off it. Now we're coming right back down. If price action comes up, we have a potential cipher pattern here in blue. So we're looking at an X leg right up here at 146.70, X to A to B, B to C. Our CD completion as of right now would be right up here at 146.01. Does anything about that level stand out to you? 146.01. There are two things I see, but what do you guys think? Boom, round number, even handle number. We call those psychological numbers. Again, those psychological numbers that end in 00, especially, those are the ones that they tend to react like structure. Again, we want to, the market, there's so much psychology in the market. All it is again, a representation of the buying and selling that's going on. As humans, we love these even numbers where we're driven to them. They're easy to divide and multiply by. Anything else you see at that level? Come on, it's a big red box. What is that big red box? Also, should have mentioned this earlier. If you're new, I tend to talk pretty fast. I tend to use a lot of terminology. What I hear from the traders that come is typically it's about a 1.5 to 2 week learning curve. Not learning curve, but time period where the room really starts to slow down. The first day, it seems like just water being spit out of a fire hose at you and you're so overwhelmed. Trust me, it gets better. It gets better in time. Now, kids say, can I sell 10 p.m. later if 4 hour goes till bearish tail bar? Yes, you can. But you can also sell whenever you want. You can buy whenever you want as well. The real question is this, kids. What does your trading plan say? I guess the first question should be, do you have a trading plan that you follow? Or are you kind of just buying and selling on feel with no real rhyme or reason? What would you say to that? And I don't mean to seem harsh, but this is how we discover the truth. And once you know the truth, then we can take the actions to start fixing it and get you on the right path. So do you have a trading plan with strict rules of engagement for when you enter and exit the market? Should be a simple question, yes or no. Live room vets are like, oh, here it comes. Here it comes. It's on. Trading plan is sell at high, buy at low price action signal. All right. So what is a high price action signal? How can you define that? If I'm trying to learn your strategy, how would you tell me to define a high price action signal? How do I know what that is? Is this are we at a high price action signal right now? Help me out here. And again, guys, one way to kind of determine if your trading plan is as solid as it needs to be is try to teach someone else. If you're having trouble teaching someone else, someone that doesn't know anything about trading, right? Then there are some flaws in your if-then thought process. So we might have a bull cipher on the hourly. Okay, we'll check that out as well. I remember you. Was that you that shot that into the 12-week chat, Raphael? Might have been Ramzan. Daily downtrend, guys. How do I know what is a high price action buy? Please define that for me. And again, this is it. I'm getting the impression. I'm not getting the impression. I know. I can tell right now you don't have a solid plan, because saying stuff like daily downtrend got signal at 4 hour, like a pin bar. Okay, so what level does that pin bar? Where does that pin bar have to be? Can I sell at any pin bar? Does it have to be at previous structure support, previous structure resistance? Does RSI have to be overbought? In support, in support and resistance. Okay, where do stops go? I'm assuming you enter next bar market. Where do stops go? You see, here's the thing, guys. And again, I don't want to sound mean, but this is a learning experience. And many of you are in the same boat where you think you have a solid trading plan, but you really don't. Let me ask this question. I'm trying to look for a 12-week transformation member in here. Elaine, are you here? Are you sitting in here, Elaine? Sean, what's going on? All right. What type of patterns do you trade, Elaine? I'm putting the pressure on you, so be ready. Cypher, Batten, Gartley. All right. For the Gartley pattern, where do you place your orders at? And you guys on YouTube, I'm sorry, you can't see the chat, but I'll try to explain as much as I can. I'm broadcasting the first whatever minutes of this. Yeah, of course you can. Yeah, you can send me your plan. Yeah. Where do your orders go at? At the 127 extension. All right. Where do stops go at then? Elaine's heart is probably beating like, no. Above X 113 extension of the X to A move. All right. What about targets? Johan, I could have picked on you too. Target 132, target 2618. See, here's the thing, guys. When we have a plan and when it's a solid plan, I think you have a start to your plan, kids, because you have an idea of what you want to do. When you have a solid plan, we use an if-then thought process, and there's no gray area in between. If price action goes to 127 extension of A to B leg, then I get short. If I get short, then stops go 1 ATR above X leg. If I get short, then targets go here, targets go there. And there's no gray area in between it. We know exactly what we want to do when we need to do it. And we try to eliminate as much thinking as possible. Because I'll tell you what, the more we think, the more trouble we get into. And, if we have kind of ideas of what we want to do, but not solid rules, we can get into a lot of trouble because we're more likely to make those emotional mistakes in trades that we want to get into. We're going to make the rules work in our favor. If I want to get short pound dollar, right? I want to get short pound dollar. Everyone on CNBC and Bloomberg is screaming, buy the dollar, buy the dollar, buy the dollar. So I want to get short. So I'm looking here and I'm like, oh, look at this. Hey, look at this indecision bar right here, guys. Look at that, right? Look at that to doji. This is technically an outside return, so I should just get short right here, right? I'm going to tell myself what I need to hear to do it. And then vice versa, you can scare yourself out of position. So we want to have clear, solid rules. That's the only way we can be consistent over time in our trading. And I'll tell you what, consistency breeds success. Traders can be really good for a day, really good for a week, really good for a month, right? But you have all heard the stories of traders that have had great years and then have given it all back. I was speaking to a trader on YouTube this morning who his friend traded good for 5 years, I think it was 5 years, and then blew it all. And now he's blaming it on the banks and the corruption and the scammy markets. Look in the mirror. Blame it on yourself. Blame it on yourself. And I don't know that trader, but I would guess he didn't have consistent rules. Maybe he traded good for all those years. Maybe he got a little cocky, a little overconfident, started breaking rules. Maybe he got a little scared once that drawdown hit, started breaking rules and lost it all. It happens. It's sad and unfortunate, but it happens, right? We got to have consistent, solid rules that we can follow day in and day out. That's the only thing that's going to keep us being consistently profitable. Does that make sense, guys? Do you follow me on that? Give me a yes. And if you don't have rules right now, that's fine, assuming you're not trading live. Our job is to inform you of that mindset, let you know what you need to have. And if you don't have it, hey, take care. If you don't have it, at least you know what you need to work on now. That's why so many traders love talking to Charles for those trader assessments. They find out something about themselves that they don't know. Some of them go on to take courses, some of them don't, but you always leave the conversation more empowered. You leave the conversation knowing what needs to be fixed. And if you know about it, I mean, that's the first step on doing it. So potential cipher pattern up here, 146 flat, 146.01. What can this also be? That dreaded term we try not to discuss here in the live room. What is this also? What could this also be? Right? Aggressive C. Yeah, we're not going to get into that because I think it's a horrible, horrible thing. And I'm broadcasting this on YouTube, so I don't want YouTube traders getting any ideas and blowing money fast doing this. But if we do get this cipher pattern completion, this would also be the C leg of a potential Gartley pattern, looking at X to A, or the C leg, yeah, potential Gartley pattern. X to A to B, B to C, C to D. And you can look for that Gartley pattern completion being right down here at 142.61. Now, why is this important? Well, if you're a trader on a higher time frame, if you're looking for a bigger move from this cipher, say you're not just looking for target ones and target twos, but you're looking for an extension, this is going to help you judge maybe where to take profits off at that extension. You know, maybe initially you were looking at targets down here, previous structure, but now that you see that Gartley pattern, you're saying, you know what, Akil, we know that advanced patterns are pretty powerful. We don't know that the Gartley is going to complete right at the 786, but it could. I'm entering from up here. That's a 340 pip move. Do I want to be a little bit more conservative and save 40 pips? Is that worth it? Or do I want to be stubborn and go for that extra 40 pips, right? Let me ask you guys, right? If you're taking 340 pip profits, are you all that? Does 40 extra pips, do you think it's worth the risk? Now, if you're not a Gartley pattern trader, it doesn't matter. But what do you guys think? 340 pips versus 380 pips? Is it worth it to be a little safer and get your stops in a position that will give you a little safer opportunity, or get your targets, I should say, in a position that will give you a little safer opportunity of getting hit? Yeah, probably not worth it. Assuming you can do it. You're right. Yeah, Bajami, if you have nothing in your plan about adjusting targets, then you got to stick with it. Yep, that's true. That is also true. But yeah, I've been in situations like this before where I've been so stubborn, and of course, the cool thing about the trading plan is you can adjust it to whatever you want. But I've been so stubborn and have stuck to the trading plan so much that I've watched stuff like this happen, where my targets were right here, and I'm like, oh, that was a Gartley pattern. But of course, you take notes, you evolve, you continue to work as a trader, and you find out little hints and clues like this. So that's certainly an opportunity. You can definitely stop and reverse at that Gartley and take it long as well. Let's go down to the lower time frame. We have a few traders talking about a potential cipher there as well. That's going to head us right into our war room meeting, which starts at 8:30. We're going to cut off the YouTube live stream and check Mr. Stapleton out. All right, we have two potential patterns here. This is the 60-minute chart, so going from the 240 to the 60. If we're looking at an X leg right down here, this is going to be an anchor leg, guys. We talk about anchor versus impulse leg some of the times. This is going to be an anchor leg. If we're looking at an X leg right here, we're going to have a potential bullish cipher as well. Get my extendo on here, fib extension. We're going to be looking at an X to A to B, B to C, C to D right down here at 143.77. Does Constellation have this one up, guys? I don't have my Constellation up. Probably. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Constellation to the rescue. Let's take it off now because I like the clean charts. All right. So we're looking at a potential bullish cipher right here, 143.73. Should be enough room to profit off of this. Yep, no problem. Let's get some orders in. And of course, while I'm getting these orders in, what else can this become as well? Now that we're talking about multiple patterns, what else can this become? See if we can grow our syndicate account some today. This can become a potential Gartley as well. If I shift this X leg, let me just get this into our syndicate real quick so they don't forget. Bull cipher. Bull cipher at 14377. Kaboom, bang. In there. Let's copy this. Let's shoot it over to the trade floor. Trade floor, $1 for your first month in the syndicate. I was talking to Jason Greystone about this. It is a shame for anyone that is not involved, who has not invested $1 in their education. All right, we're getting it in there. Good. You get videos, daily war room meetings, and a trade floor app. It's awesome. All right, so if this gets filled, or if we get a reversal here, we need to see a lower low than this B. That's the only way we're going to have a potential Gartley. But obviously, if we get down here, we'll have that. We're going to look at a potential Gartley pattern completion right up at our 127, looking like this. X to A to our new B being here. Again, if we get this lower low, we've got to get that lower low there. But assuming we get that lower low, that's going to be our new B. Our C leg is going to be right down here, or wherever price action completes. If it completes, again, we're so far ahead of this, but let's assume it completes right in this area. That's going to be our C, and then we're looking for a D completion right here for a bearish Gartley. If no lower low, is that a bat? It is not going to be a bat because we do not hit that 50%. Now, if you have rules that say all you require is a 3D2, then yes, you'll have that potential bat pattern on the radar as well. If we don't get that lower low. Ron says, morning all. Geez, couldn't log in with my new laptop. Using that Windows 10, Ron. I've been so scared to upgrade. I'm like, with technology, I tend to touch stuff and it just blows up. So I'm so scared to upgrade it. I haven't really been hearing good things, so I'm a little scared. Any plans to get trade floor on Android, iPhone? No, not an app. We just don't make, the syndicate isn't a money-making service, to be honest with you. It basically makes enough to pay for itself, so it's not worth producing an app for. We are working on getting it all desktop-based, so we're going to have the trade floor be desktop-based, kind of like the rest of kind of like the rest of the syndicate. So we'll probably have like a trade floor tab over here that you can keep the desktop on, but it's just not worth creating an app for, just because, again, we don't try to make money off. I mean, we try to make money. We don't try to make massive profit off of the syndicate. It's more of just hey, let's make enough to pay for the technology itself. Maybe one day, if it grows big enough, you never know. If you get a few extra bucks hanging around, maybe one day. How's the overlap between the content in the Pro Trader course and the 12-week transformation course? 12-week transformation course is more complete. A lot of the content is similar, but there's a lot more support in the 12-week transformation course. Also, Pro Trader is no longer offered. We sold out of that in December. Hey, Ron says, winner chicken dinner on my Aussie, finally hitting target 2 this morning. Let's give you some money sounds, Ron. Oh yeah, ring that cash register. There we go. Ka-ching. All right. Any questions about pound dollar? Again, we're gonna head to war room as soon as Jason gets started any second now. But any questions about pound dollar before we go? I can answer questions about training courses and stuff later, and when we have some downtime. Below the X leg. Yep. Stops go below X on advanced pattern. So our X leg is right down here for the blue pattern. So below X leg. 10 is 100 times better than 8 and 8.1. Okay, nice. Because I had the other windows before, the one before it, and it was weird. I didn't like the little boxy, flippy window things. It scared me. Syndicate members, give me a shout when Jason started. I haven't learned other patterns yet. I'm doing Cypher first to get a plan together for that so I can start demo trading and add. That's the perfect way to do it. That's the way I went about it. I've mastered one pattern. This is after years and years of struggling, of course. I mastered the Gartley pattern, And what I was able to do is I was able to make profit trading the Gartley pattern. I was a swing trader, so my trades were longer term. I had all the time in the world. So I would just, I had about I think a 8-pair portfolio. So I was trading Gartleys, making profit off of those. And as you guys know, patterns don't take much management. It takes, 30 minutes in the morning to do all your analysis. So during the days, I was back testing and learning other patterns so I can slowly add one at a time to my arsenal. So I started with Gartley, then I added bat pattern. And I was actually set with Gartleys and bats. And obviously when Darren created the cipher, that changed the game. So he created it. So I had to teach it because I was working with education. I hated the pattern at first. And then I tested it and I was like, man, I'm an idiot. I apologized to Darren. I'm like, sorry, man. Sorry to doubt your greatness. So Jason started. We're going to take a 10-minute break for War Room. YouTube guys, I'm going to shut you off. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you guys in 10 minutes. And we'll continue answering questions and doing some analysis. All right.